Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. You've got Dan here, and today we're going to look at the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. What a mouthful. Let's go. Now, if you're new to the channel here, my name's Dan and I am a prop and costume maker. I also cosplay. So I've primarily bought this resin printer to do prop and cosplay items. Now, I have some experience with 3D printing. I own an FDM machine, a Prusa i3 Mark II, but I haven't used it a lot, and by now it's quite outdated. I probably bought that 7 or 8 years ago, so I'm a bit behind on the whole modern printing technology. So I decided to jump in and get a resin printer to up the quality of the kind of things that I can print. Now, we're just going to cover my first impressions of the machine, getting it unboxed, set up, and what kind of things that it can do to enhance my prop and cosplay building. Now, I was super excited when the machine arrived, the big brown box day, everything arrives. I have to say it was really easy to get everything out of the box and get it out and ready to be set up. Of course, a different thing about getting a resin printer is that you need a lot more things to go with it than just if you bought an FDM machine. If you get a regular FDM machine, of course, you just need the machine and some filament, and you can pretty much print from there and you'll get products straight off the machine. With a resin printer, of course, you need not only the printer and the liquid resin, but you also need a way to wash those prints and a way to cure those prints. Now, you can do those DIY if you wish, but Elegoo themselves do a wash station and a cure station, which is very handy, so I ordered those as well. I will say, if you're also thinking of getting a resin printer of any size, you'll need all these things, but then there's other things to consider as well. Now, I was expecting there to be a lot of things to get with this machine, but it ended up being a fair few more things than maybe I initially considered. You not only need the printer, the wash station and the cure station, but you need silicone mats, silicone tools, a whole lot of isopropyl alcohol, probably about 10 litres or so, shop towels, a funnel is really handy, and of course all your basic tools like flush cutters and files and things to clean up prints. Now, on top of the printer, the wash station and the cure station, I probably spent around £150, that's maybe 180 US dollars to 200 US dollars, on just getting extra things to be able to enable the smooth operation of this printer. So getting it set up, it was actually really easy to get set up. I just plugged it in and followed all the instructions on the screen. It goes through its own cycle of getting everything sorted. Where I've got mine set up, I've just got it on the side. It's on top of a couple of cabinets. You can see the kind of area that this whole operation takes up. It's a fair bit of room more than an FDM printer, but it's not a whole lot of space, and you can easily accommodate it into a workshop space. The printer went through its startup. I did all the due diligence and peeled off all the films and things that I was supposed to peel off, and then I was excited to start printing. Now, my resin actually ended up turning up a day or two later than the printer, so I had to wait a little bit before I could print, but I was really excited to just pour some resin in and get going. The Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 16K has a heated vat, which is different to their other models and previous models. So it heats the resin to a lovely 30 degrees to ensure like optimal printing. This model also has a tilting vat, which means when it prints one layer, instead of pulling the plate back up to pull it off of the film on the tank, the vat tilts and it comes off like this and goes back up. It actually makes the printer a hell of a lot quicker than if the Z-axis was moving up and down on its own. It's just a couple of the features that I'm really impressed with this machine. Like I said, this is my first resin printer, and I would say this printer is at the top end of hobby printers. It's not getting into the professional range where they are bigger and way more expensive, into the thousands of dollars, pounds, whichever you want to look at it. This is sort of in the middle at about £400–500. So yeah, definitely the top end. You can definitely get cheaper. The Elegoo Mars range is also really good, but you just have a smaller build plate. This one's just a little bit bigger, which I wanted because I wanted to be able to throw things at it and let it print. And specifically for doing things like cosplay and prop items, those items tend to be a little bit bigger. If I was doing miniatures and things like that, which I'm also just getting into, by the way, because I'm playing D&D and I love it, you could definitely get away with a smaller build plate. If I was just doing miniatures, I'd probably just get something like the Elegoo Mars, but I'm really happy with the size of the build plate on this one, and it didn't break the bank too much. Now, a lot of people on their first print do the Rook. That's the classic little castle with the spiral staircase inside. That's what people usually print first, and this comes with that model to print. Me being me, I thought, I don't really want to print that. I know it's a good test for the machine and you can see kind of the quality of it, but I thought let me get a small prop item instead to be my first print. I decided to grab a model of the Key of Hamunaptra. It's the key from the Mummy series starring Brendan Fraser that opens the Book of the Living and the Book of the Dead. I found this really cool model by Andy Valentine and bought it. The model itself was really nice and I was able to throw it into Box and get it all sliced up. Now, I hadn't used this software before either, but the software itself was really intuitive and I was able to position everything on the build plate, get it all supported nicely, and then sent over to the printer. I believe this print took about 4 or 5 hours, I can't quite remember the time, but it came out beautifully. Once the print bed starts coming above the level of the resin, you start to see what's being printed, and I was so pleased with the quality. I know resin printing is known for being really high quality, but until you kind of see it happening in front of your eyes, it's really kind of like fascinating to watch. The printer handled it like a champ, and I got a fantastic piece off of it. Then of course, with resin printing, once it's printed, you have to wash and cure it. I took off the build plate, which was fairly easy. This new model has wings on the build plate, which allows you to grip it a bit easier. Of course, I wore a respirator and latex gloves to take everything off. You don't want to touch or inhale the fumes of this resin. I've since bought 2 air purifiers that will go into the printer and a larger purifier to go in the room that I'm printing in to help filter all those fumes that come from the printer, because it does end up smelling quite a lot of that resin if you don't purify the air / have windows open. I first gave the printed parts a spray down of alcohol using spray bottles. Again, another purchase that goes with this, very handy. To spray them down with alcohol, let them drip onto that shop towel, which helped absorb some of the resin. Once that was done, I popped them into the wash station to give them a nice wash to get rid of all that excess resin. I went super conservative here and actually did about a 10-15 minute cycle just to make sure that as much of the resin had been taken off as possible. Once that was done, I took them out and allowed them to air dry, letting all that alcohol evaporate off. Again, you need to have a well ventilated room or like a purifying going, because also that alcohol evaporating into the room is fumey and it's really not good for you. Once they were dry, this is when I removed all of the supports. I used my flush colors to get it all snipped off and as close to the model as I could without breaking anything. At this point, the model is still slightly fragile and it will dent, scratch and crack if you are not careful. I then popped the pieces into the curing station, which again was fairly easy to put together and set up. And again ran a conservative cycle of about 8 to 10 minutes just to make sure that the parts were fully cured. And after that, there we have it. That is our key all done. I've still got to assemble and paint and put this thing together. But as you can see, the print quality is absolutely fantastic. And just the details, I thought the key would be a really good test for the printer because it's got all the Egyptian hieroglyphs on it. And we can see how they came out. They came out really crisp and I'm really pleased with the finish. There are, of course, little nubs where the supports were attached to the printer itself. These are really easy to sand down, but that'll all be fixed when I do my finish and painting pass. Overall, I'm super happy with my purchase. As a first print, that key turned out great. I've since also printed a mask for another cosplay, which also turned out really great. I'm really happy with how the printer handled everything, and the software of Box is really intuitive. I think there are some features on there which you need to subscribe for, like splitting up models and stuff like that. That's a bit annoying, but you can get along with the basic version, and it actually worked really well in getting the models sliced up and into the printer. As is apparent, I'm really pleased with this purchase and I can't wait to incorporate the printer into my workflow, and hopefully we'll be able to make some fantastic prop and cosplay items going forward. I do hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. It never gets easier to say. It's quite the product name they have there and it's quite a mouthful. But I do hope you enjoyed this quick review and do look for parts coming off it in future builds. I will of course see you guys in the next video, and until then, take care. Bye bye.